No, so all right, which leads me into Trump token, drops out there. Memes are, the meme economy is real. To me, I believe in the meme economy. There's so many people that are participating in memes.
Right.
By the way, and we'll talk about utilities because utilities are making a comeback. You've seen XRP
Mhm.
literally go from 55 cents, SEC out the way. It blasts off
Cardano
the.
from 25 cents to a
There
dollar.
you go. I was
4x.
leading that way. I've
Yeah.
been talking about, hey guys, they laughed at me when I said, hey, remember Cardano when I was telling you guys Cardano's at 2 cents. I mean, just take a flyer on Charles if you don't even know anything about Cardano. I mean, like his history. And I got laughed out the room. I was like, okay, that's fine. And now it's hovering. It goes to 98 cents. It goes to $1.15, but it's there. And I feel like once everything's in place with regulations and
Mhm.
I don't want to say regulations, with clarity being put out there, I feel that's when the real utilities, because I don't
Mhm.
believe all of them will run. I believe the ones that have actually had real work done to them, yourself, Ripple, they've done real work out there. I can name a few others here. Don't be angry at me. Chainlink, obviously, all of them. They'll run. Um, but the meme is very interesting because when he dropped that meme, well, does it give the right for people in this space to go ahead and drop a meme as well, Charles? Because if Trump dropped a meme, then can somebody go ahead and tokenize themselves as well? And that's a question I was waiting to go ahead and pose to you to see what your thoughts
Yeah.
on that would be. Like, can the SEC hurt? They can't touch Trump. I mean, I don't think they can go after Trump and his token. I mean, essentially there's no value in the token, right? The people are putting value on the token, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, yeah, no, they can't. By the recent Supreme Court ruling, go after them. It's dubious if they could do a civil case, but nobody has the balls to go after Trump, regardless if it's legal or not. That's just not going to happen at the SEC. But it does open up an interesting conversation. It has created some issues for me. Like if I speak before the Senate, for example, and there's a high probability that'll happen this year, then I'm gonna be on Senate committee, and Tim Scott runs that. He's a friend of mine. He's a good guy. But Elizabeth Warren is the ranking Democrat member. So
Right.
now every single question I'm going to get for people on the left is not going to be what should we do with crypto to protect X, Y, and Z, or what are the risks of crypto. It's tell me, do you support Trump coin or not? So that's the downside. That's why I say there's some good, bad, and the ugly. So the upside is it's innovative and interesting, and it creates this prediction market tracker for popularity, which is novel. But the downside is now it has reduced a nuanced conversation to binary polls where either you're pro Trump or anti Trump. So anything crypto equals Trump, anything against crypto equals anti Trump. So the Democrats, especially the more radicalized TDS crowd, they will never, they just can't hear crypto. The noise is too high for them. They say crypto is alt right, it's evil. The only purpose of crypto is scamming people and these things, and they were going to die down a little bit, but now that Trump coin's here, it unfortunately will resurrect that
Yeah.
dialogue. So I'll probably get 3 or 4 questions about that. Do you think it's right? Consumers are losing money. Trump is enriching himself, and these types of things. And that doesn't really help the conversation. It doesn't help us move anything along. I mean, she was gonna, be anti-crypto regardless, but now you've given some free ammunition that it is easy for people to understand, because at the end of the day, 80% of at the all-time high was like 60 billion. You're talking like $50 billion of free money, right? It just got to print out of thin air in 3 4 days. People are saying, well, where did that money come from and who's paying for that? Well, if he sells, it's selling mostly into retail. You
Yeah.
see, so they see that and they feel that, and that's the kind of stuff that is difficult to navigate, and it changes the conversation. So it's not impossible, but it's nuanced, and unfortunately politics right now is lacking nuance. If I criticize Trump, people say I'm a woke Biden supporting soy boy. If I criticize Elizabeth Warren or the Democrats, they say I'm an alt-right conspiracy theorist MAGA person. And I'm like, I'm a human being, God damn it. You know, I have opinions and they're independent
Yeah.
of political parties. And sometimes I agree with one party and sometimes I agree with another party. And believe it or not, I have friends in all spectrums of politics, from communists to crazy theocrats who believe God should be in charge. You know, I know people in the Vatican. You know, so I know pretty much everybody at this point, and I can get along with people, have a beer with people. And unfortunately, the mainstream media tells us we're not allowed to do that anymore. And we have to pick a side and hate everybody else.
But doesn't Trump? So I was kind of like taken. Obviously, Trump drops his token. It liquidates. It takes all the liquidity in the market and it throws it to Trump. A lot of people are complaining, "Oh my God, my tokens and my memes, my assets, and my utilities are going down. I'm down." But to me, I'm looking at it. I'm like, I think Trump, by doing so, it brings people into the market.
Yeah,
Like at the end of the day, 3 months from now, 5% of that crowd hypothetically goes into ADA. I'm
yeah,
just throwing out a hypothetical number here. 10% of the crowd goes and picks up Bitcoin because they never knew how to purchase Bitcoin. They didn't know they can buy a
yeah,
fraction. So, yes, I know how people can look at a meme and like, oh, look at this. But ultimately, like Dogecoin did the same thing in 2021. It brought a bunch of people into
yeah,
the space. And then people started getting into ADA and they started getting into XRP and
yeah,
Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the memes have a purpose. You know, they're relatable. Charles, I always say this. The one thing about memes, they're relatable. They're
mhm.
easy to understand. People seen the character, the pictures before. Trump is a meme. Like who doesn't know Trump? He's a meme. He's
He's
a
a
walking meme.
he's a living super meme.
So it's easy to unlike me trying to explain near protocol. Hey, here's near protocol. Let me explain. Hey, here's Polkadot, cross chains and parachutes. You know how people would look at me? They'd call 411 or 911 to get me in a straitjacket. So I think memes do bring a lot of people into the space that at the end of the day, they get to see the real stuff that's been built here and they're able to then join in and participate.
Yeah.
So